Ever dreamt of making money while binge watching your favorite show? You're not alone. And guess what? You don't need to be rich, famous, or have millions of followers to make it happen. Today, we're cutting through the hype and diving deep into how normal people just like you, are quietly building passive income streams from scratch. No fancy yachts, no fake gurus, just real strategies that actually work. Because building financial freedom isn't about luck, it's about smart moves made early. Let's jump in.
Okay, so have you ever just, zoned out and thought about making money without actually, working?
Like when you're on vacation or just chilling. Yeah, I get that.
Exactly. Like when you're finally catching up on that show everyone's been raving about, right?
Right.
It's that whole passive income thing.
Right.
But to be honest, sometimes it feels a little bit like, all those financial freedom gurus on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
All a bit too polished. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So is there actually something to this for normal people like us?
That's exactly what we're going to try and figure out today. So welcome to this deep dive we're doing together, going through some really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
From the first part of this series called Passive Income, The Freedom Feature of Your Finances by Grow Leap Academy.
Okay, awesome.
And yeah, we're going to cut through all the hype and try to give you a clear idea of what passive income actually is.
Right.
We'll try to bust some of the myths around it and see why it's even relevant, like you said. Because you might be thinking, is this even possible for someone like me?
Right.
And that's exactly what we're going to find out.
Perfect. So let's just get right into it then.
Okay.
Passive income, what does that even really mean?
So basically at its core,
Yeah.
passive income is all about making money that isn't directly tied to the hours you're actually working.
Okay.
Which is totally different to your typical 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Right. If you stop working, the money stops too. That's active income.
Makes sense.
But passive income is more like, imagine planting a tree.
Oh, okay.
You put in the work at the beginning, and over time, it keeps giving you fruit without you having to constantly tend to it every single day.
So it's more like you're building something once,
Yeah.
and it just kind of keeps earning over time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key idea here.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it, but can we get some real-world examples, from the series we're looking at today?
Absolutely. So let's say someone designs a really awesome digital planner, right?
Yeah.
Something that helps people organize their life or work projects or whatever. Yeah. They put in the effort up front to create it, make it perfect, and then they sell it on a platform like Gumroad. And every sale after that initial creation takes very little effort.
Oh, I see.
So they can be making money while they're working on other things or relaxing.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah. And the key here is that they're focusing on a specific problem for a specific group of people, a niche.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Do you have any other examples?
Oh, yeah, tons. Think about someone who's super into vintage sneakers or anime or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
They start a TikTok channel sharing their knowledge and passion.
Yeah.
As they build up their followers, they might start working with brands they genuinely love.
Brand deals.
Yeah, exactly. Or they could recommend products using special links called affiliate links.
Okay.
So these links are unique to them, so when someone clicks on their link from their video and buys something, they get a commission.
So they're getting paid for promoting stuff they already love.
Exactly. The hard part is building that initial audience and making good content. But once that's done, yeah.
It can become a pretty passive income stream.
That makes sense. What about those online courses that everyone's always talking about?
Oh, yeah. Those are a classic example. Imagine someone who's really good at something like growing an Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they've mastered a specific skill like video editing with a program like CapCut. They can create a mini course teaching people how to do that same thing, put it online, and people can buy it and learn from it.
Right.
That way they're making money without having to personally teach every single person.
That's pretty cool. I've always wondered how that works.
It's a great way to package your knowledge and sell it repeatedly.
Things are always changing though, right? What about newer ways to earn passive income?
Yeah, that's a great point. And it's getting really interesting with AI,
Yeah.
Someone could learn how to use AI to make unique art and designs.
Oh, wow.
And then sell those as digital prints on sites like Etsy or even as NFTs,
NFTs.
non-fungible tokens. Basically, they're like one-of-a-kind digital collectibles, and people buy and sell them.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So once you create and list your NFT, it can potentially make you money without much more effort from you.
That's wild.
Or think about music. Someone could make original beats or songs and put them on a Spotify playlist.
Yeah,
The hard work is making the music, but then they earn royalties every time someone listens to it.
I see.
The series even mentions this friend who has a YouTube channel, but it's all faceless.
Faceless.
Yeah. They use AI to do the voiceover and stock footage for the visuals,
Oh, wow.
and they're making money from ads without really having to be in the videos themselves.
That's so clever.
Yeah, it's all about using technology to your advantage.
So it seems like when we say passive, it's not really about doing nothing, right? It's more like you put in a lot of work up front, and then the effort kind of lessens over time.
You got it. It's not truly passive in the sense of doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
The Grow Leap Academy folks really emphasize that.
Yeah.
It's more about front-loading your effort, whether it's time, creativity, or sometimes even a bit of money.
Yeah. You're building something up front, like a digital product, a system, or an audience.
Okay, I see. So it's not about getting rich quickly by doing nothing. It's more like a long-term strategy.
Exactly. It's about gradually building wealth and creating more freedom for yourself over time.
Right.
Not some overnight get-rich-quick scheme like those scammy ads you see online.
Definitely anyone promising instant riches with no effort is probably not being honest.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be careful with those.
And I think it's important to remember that anyone out there who's successfully making passive income now, no matter how much they're making, they all started somewhere.
Yeah, at zero, just like everyone else.
Exactly.
Okay, so now that we've kind of defined what passive income really is, let's talk about some of the common myths around it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think those myths can really hold people back.
Absolutely.
Like one I hear all the time is that passive income is only for rich people.
Ah, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, like you have to have a ton of money to invest to even get started.
Yeah, right. And while it's true that having money can help with some types of passive income, like investments, a lot of the digital stuff we've been talking about is actually way more accessible than people think.
Really?
Yeah, it's often more about having good ideas and putting in work consistently than having a huge bank account.
That's good to know.
Yeah, and the series talks about this 22-year-old named Nina
Okay.
who started selling custom digital planners that she made on her iPad.
Wow, on her iPad?
Yeah, she used TikTok to promote them and then set up a simple Gumroad page to sell them.
So she basically started with like almost no money.
Pretty much. Like maybe just the cost of the apps she used, which she probably already had.
Wow, so it's more about creativity and putting yourself out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like the Grow Leap Academy folks say your personality and your unique perspective, those are huge assets.
Yeah, for sure.
Often more valuable than a big pile of money.
Okay, that's encouraging. Another myth I hear a lot is that anything promising to make money online passively is probably a scam.
Oh yeah, I get that there are definitely a lot of shady things out there.
For sure. It's hard to know what to trust.
It's definitely a valid concern, but the important thing is to understand the difference between legitimate passive income and those get-rich-quick schemes.
Right.
Real passive income takes work setting up and maintaining it.
Yeah.
It's about building a sustainable system, not finding some magic loophole or jumping on a fleeting trend.
Okay, so like that example you mentioned earlier with your friend Alex making that Spotify study playlist.
Yeah.
He put in the time and effort to create the music and then put it out there with the hope of earning royalties over time.
Exactly. It wasn't some flashy promise of overnight riches. It was about using his skills and putting in the work.
Right, and it's paid off for him.
It has. So yeah, be skeptical of anything that sounds too good to be true.
Always a good rule.
But don't let that skepticism stop you from seeing the real opportunities that are out there.
Yeah. Okay, good advice. And I think the last big myth we should talk about is that you need to be famous or have like millions of followers to make passive income online.
Oh yeah, that one definitely holds people back.
Yeah, it feels like you need to be some kind of influencer or something.
Right. But the truth is, some of the best passive income strategies don't need a huge public profile at all.
Really?
Yeah. They operate quietly in the background, like the example from Reddit about the person making $500 a month selling iOS widget packs on Etsy.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
They probably didn't have millions of followers. They just made a good product, presented it well, and made sure people could find it.
Through SEO and stuff like that.
Exactly. So it's more about being relevant to a specific niche than trying to be super famous.
That's good to know. So all this stuff about digital tools and platforms, It really levels the playing field in a way. Yeah.
Absolutely. You don't necessarily need to be in the spotlight or constantly chasing viral trends. You can build something that works for you quietly and consistently.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've debunked some of the biggest myths around passive income.
We have.
But why is this whole concept so important right now? Like, what's making it so relevant in today's world?
Well, if you look at the bigger picture, things are changing economically.
Yeah, for sure.
That old idea of relying on one job for security your whole life, it's not as stable as it used to be.
Right.
We've got things like automation and AI coming in, changing the job market in a lot of industries.
Yeah, you hear about that all the time.
And then on top of that, you have inflation eating away at our earnings.
It's true. It feels like everything is getting more expensive.
It is, and it can feel a bit scary to rely only on one source of income.
Yeah, like having all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. And that's where passive income can help. It adds a layer of resilience and gives you options.
Options for what?
Options for everything. It's not just about having extra spending money, it's about having more financial freedom and security. It can be a safety net when the economy is uncertain, give you the flexibility to pursue other things you're passionate about, and ultimately more control over your time in your life.
So if someone's listening and they're dreaming of traveling more or spending more time on their creative hobbies or even just having less financial stress, building passive income could help them get there.
Exactly. It's about creating a life where you have more choices.
I like that. Okay, so to give everyone a taste of what's possible, can we talk about some of the different types of passive income out there?
Yeah, definitely. We'll go into more detail in future episodes.
Yeah.
But it's good to get a general overview first.
Okay, so what are the main categories?
Well, the Grow Leap Academy folks talk a lot about digital income, which we've already touched on.
All right, like selling digital products online.
Exactly. And it's not just planners and courses. Think about things like ebooks, website templates, those AI image prompts we talked about, or even presets for editing photos. Remember that example of Jade making $400 a month selling digital wallpapers on Etsy?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That fits perfectly here.
Cool. What else?
Then you have investment income, which is probably what a lot of people think of first when they hear passive income.
Yeah, like investing in the stock market.
Right. Things like earning dividends from stocks or ETFs, interest from bonds, returns from something called crypto staking.
Crypto staking, what's that?
It's basically where you lock up your cryptocurrency to help support the network and earn rewards for doing that.
Oh, interesting.
And of course, you have rental income from real estate if you own property.
So investments are still a big part of passive income.
They are, but they're not just for Wall Street experts anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, platforms like Robinhood and Fidelity have made investing way more accessible for regular people.
Oh, that's good to know.
Then you have automated services.
Automated services.
Yeah, things like dropshipping where you sell products online without actually having to keep them in stock yourself.
Oh, wow. How does that work?
You basically partner with a supplier who handles the storage and shipping.
Mm-hmm.
There's also print on demand where you can sell things like t-shirts with your designs on them, but you don't have to deal with the printing or shipping.
So like that example of selling mean t-shirts on Redbubble.
Yeah, exactly. You just upload your design and Redbubble handles the rest.
That's super convenient.
And of course, there's affiliate marketing, which we talked about earlier, where you promote other people's products and earn a commission on sales.
Okay, cool. So many options.
And if you're a creative person, there are ways to make passive income from your talents, too.
Oh, yeah. Like how?
Well, you can earn royalties from books you write or music you create.
Mm-hmm.
You can license your music for use in videos or films.
Okay.
Or you can sell stock photos and videos.
Oh, right. And there was that example of the TikToker who's selling their voice recordings as AI samples.
Yeah. That's a great example of how things are changing and new opportunities are popping up all the time.
That's so cool.
And we can't forget about community models.
Community models, what are those?
So this is where you leverage an existing community you've built to generate income, like platforms like Patreon or Ko-Fi, where people can support your work with monthly subscriptions.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've heard of those.
You can offer exclusive content or perks to your subscribers.
Makes sense.
Or you could create a paid community on a platform like Discord.
A paid Discord server.
Yeah, where people pay to be a part of a community and access exclusive content or discussions.
That's a cool idea.
Or you could have a subscription-based newsletter where people pay to receive your emails.
Okay, so lots of different ways to monetize your community.
Exactly. But I think the key takeaway from all of this is that everyone who's making passive income now, regardless of how they're doing it, they all started with the same first step, which is deciding to explore and try something new.
That's a good point. It can be overwhelming with so many options.
It definitely can be.
But the important thing is to just start somewhere, right?
Absolutely. And that brings us to the next important point, how to start thinking strategically about building passive income.
Okay, so it's not just about picking an idea randomly and going for it.
Right. It's more about having the right mindset and a structured approach.
So what's the right mindset then?
The Grow Leap Academy folks describe it really well.
Oh.
They say it's about shifting from a get-rich-quick mentality to a get-smart-forever reality.
I like that.
Building lasting passive income streams is a long game.
Right.
It's not about overnight success. It's about understanding that it might not replace your active income immediately.
Yeah.
But over time, it can give you more time, more choices, and more peace of mind.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
And I love their analogy of building a digital garden.
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
So you plant the seeds of your effort, your ideas, your initial work. You nurture them by constantly learning and adapting. And then eventually you start to harvest the rewards.
That's a beautiful way to think about it.
It is. It's about playing the long game and being patient.
And it's important to remember that everyone starts with different resources, right?
Absolutely. Some people might have money to invest.
Yeah.
Others might have skills in areas like design or video editing. And some might just have lots of time and energy to dedicate.
Right.
All of those are valid starting points.
Right.
The key is to just begin.
Begin with whatever you have.
Exactly. So the Grow Leap Academy breaks down the journey into 3 main stages.
Okay, tell me about those.
The first stage is learning.
Learning.
Before you jump into building anything, you need to understand the different passive income models that are out there.
Right. Do your research.
Yeah, watch videos, listen to podcasts, talk to people in online communities. There's a great example in the series about someone on Discord.
Okay.
They learned all about the demand for Notion templates.
Notion template.
Yeah, like those pre-made templates for the Notion app that help people organize their life and work.
Okay.
So this person spent a few weeks learning, and now they're making $150 a month from just 2 templates they created.
Wow, that's impressive.
Right. It shows how important it is to learn before you leap.
Learn before you leap. I like that. Okay, so
Yeah.
first you learn, then what?
Then you build.
On the building stage.
This is where a lot of people get stuck, but it's where the magic happens.
Right. You have to actually take action.
Exactly. Pick a path that excites you and just go for it.
What are some examples of building?
Well, you could start that faceless YouTube channel you've been thinking about.
Mm.
You could upload your music to Spotify or Apple Music.
Right.
You could start making TikToks with affiliate links for products you love.
Yeah.
Or maybe make your first investment in an ETF.
So many options.
There's a great example in the series about a woman named Sarah.
Okay.
She makes AI-generated wall art, and she started selling it on Etsy using a print-on-demand service.
Cool.
And she got it all set up in just 1 weekend.
Wow. So it doesn't have to be this huge, daunting task.
Exactly. You can start small and scale up from there.
Okay, so first you learn, then you build, and what's the final stage?
The third stage is optimize and automate. Optimize and automate.
Once you have a system in place that's making some money, you want to make it as efficient as possible.
Right, like streamline things.
Yeah. You can automate tasks to save yourself time, and you can even outsource certain things as your income grows.
Outsourcing makes sense if you can afford it.
Yeah, and AI can be a game changer here too.
Oh yeah, how so?
There are so many tools now that can automate tasks and help you work more efficiently.
Like what?
Well, the series mentions a guy named Ben who uses tools like Zapier and ChatGPT to automate the onboarding process for his paid Notion job tracker.
Okay, that's getting a bit technical for me, but I get the idea.
Basically, he's using technology to do the heavy lifting for him.
Right, so he can focus on other things.
Exactly. And the Grow Leap Academy folks emphasize that it's okay to start messy.
Start messy. What do they mean by that?
They mean you don't need everything to be perfect before you launch something.
Oh, okay.
Passive income is a long game, remember? The sooner you start, even if it's imperfect, the sooner you can start seeing results and learning along the way. That's encouraging.
And the series ends with a really thought-provoking question to help you personalize this whole thing.
Oh, what's the question?
They ask, what would you do if you suddenly had an extra $500 coming in every month without having to work for it?
That's a good question. It really makes you think.
Right. What would you do with that extra money? Would you travel more? Upgrade your tech? Maybe even start transitioning away from a job you don't love?
It makes the possibilities feel real.
Exactly. And they even suggest writing down your answer to make it more tangible.
Well, that's a good tip.
And for those who are feeling extra inspired, they have a bonus prompt.
What's that?
They ask, what type of passive income are you most drawn to and why?
Oh, that's interesting.
Is it something we've discussed today, or is it something completely different? It's all about figuring out what truly motivates you.
I love that.
Yeah.
And the last bit of the series is really reassuring.
What is it?
They remind us that every single person out there who's earning passive income now, no matter how successful they all started where we are right now.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
With curiosity, maybe some uncertainty, but most importantly, a willingness to explore and try.
And that's what matters most, taking that first step.
So to wrap things up, passive income isn't some magical solution to all our financial problems,
Definitely not.
but it is a very real and powerful tool for building something sustainable over time.
Yeah.
It takes commitment and effort,
And a willingness to learn and adapt.
but it's about recognizing the value of your time
Absolutely.
and investing some of that time up front to create systems that can work for you even when you're not actively working.
That's the key. And remember, it's a long-term game.
Right, not a sprint.
Not about chasing quick wins or overnight success.
Yeah, it's about building something solid and sustainable.
That can give you more financial flexibility, security, and ultimately more freedom in your life.
That's a great goal to strive for.
And the most important thing is to just take that first step, however small it might seem.
Yeah, don't overthink it, just start.
Like placing that first block in a Minecraft world.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Each little action adds up over time to create something incredible.
You never know what you might build.
Exactly. And this has just been the first part of our deep dive into passive income.
There's more to come.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started. In future episodes, we'll get into more specific strategies like how to make money online, even if you don't have a huge following or your own products to sell.
Okay, that sounds useful.
We'll also demystify the world of investing, break it down in simple terms so anyone can understand.
Yeah, please. No complicated Wall Street jargon.
No jargon.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about how to scale up your passive income efforts using branding automation tools and other digital resources that can work for you 24/7.
Wow, so we're going to cover a lot of ground.
We are. So if you found this episode helpful, please hit that follow button and share it with anyone who might be interested.
Let's spread the knowledge.
And remember, you're not just passively listening to this. You're actively building a mindset, a willingness to learn and try new things.
Yeah.
And that mindset is your most valuable asset on this journey.
I love that.
Yeah.
So to everyone listening, remember, everyone who's making passive income, now they all started with that same curiosity and that same willingness to take a chance.
You can do it too. We're excited to continue this exploration with you in our next deep dive.
See you then.
Thank you for listening. If this episode resonated with you, the best way to support the podcast is to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Every bit of support helps us keep creating content that actually matters. See you in the next one.